All right, welcome everybody. I'm Maggie Ostara. I'm welcoming you here to the Chart-A-Thon. Thank you for your patience and your perseverance. And we are going to have fun doing this today. So I wanted to let you know that I got over 70 charts. They were still coming in today. I got like 75 charts. I can read about 12, okay, during this time. So what I did is I looked through almost all of them. I didn't have a chance to look at all of them because I was trying to figure out how to do the live stream. And so what I started doing was looking through to get examples that I thought would be useful for everybody to kind of get a sense of things that I look for when I first look at a chart, especially when I'm doing something quickly. And I thought that that could give everybody some information about what they could do in terms of looking at their own charts, okay? The other thing I wanted to let you know is if you decide you want more of a reading, what I'm going to do, and I have to go get the URL for it, but is give you a special on a half-hour reading. I don't really do them hardly at all. Every once in a while, I'll put them out, and then they're usually 147, and I'm going to do them for 97. So if you decide you really want like a half-hour reading, this is a really good time to get one because it'll be like 97. It's, you know, whatever that is, 30% off, and then we can dive in for a whole time. So I'll figure out how to get that URL where you can do that. And if you want it, you can also email me and just say, hey, I want that. Send me the you know, the order form. Okay. I guess I tried to do too many things today. Do you ever do that? So many manifesting generators. Oh my goodness, so many manifesting generators sent in their charts. And so you know what I'm talking about, you manifesting generators. I am not a manifesting generator, but I think sometimes I act like one. So that's kind of how today went. So you know how that is. So thank you for your patience. All right, so let me just see if there's anything else I want to say about that, kind of as an introduction for you. No, I think we're just going to go through charts, and we'll go until like 6:15 since we started late. I'm just going to go for an hour because the thing is 70 charts. I don't know. I could be here till Monday, you know? All right, let me just make sure I've got my setup over here. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah, we're just going to say it's going to work. All right. I may have to fiddle with this a little bit more, but I don't. Let's see, preview. Actually, let me do one more thing before I do that. I'm going to make this. All right, well, we're just going to say it's going to work, right? Right, team? It's going to work. All right, can everybody see this chart? Why is this here? I don't want this here. Go away. Yes, everybody can see the chart? Okay, perfect. Oh, actually, there wasn't a couple other things I wanted to say. Some of you sent me charts that were very difficult to read, and you weren't really going to be able to see that. Like, people weren't going to really be able to see it. And some people said they didn't want their names or their birth information. I didn't have time to deal with that. Okay. So just know that I didn't select anybody who said that because I want to honor the fact that you didn't want it, but it also meant that I wasn't going to use your chart. Okay. So that was some of my criteria. And it's not because I don't like you or because you're unworthy or anything like that. All right. It's just because I kind of needed a criteria anyway to make a selection. And that was part of the criteria. Okay. So Charmaine, I think you just came on board. So say hello in the chat if you did. I think I just let you in. And so let me just see here. What's going to happen is I've looked at these, but I haven't like studied them. So I picked them because I wanted to show you certain things. And oh, there's Charmaine. Hi. And so it might take me a second when I pull them up to figure out why did I pick this chart. Okay, so here we go. Manifesting generator, right? She's a manifesting generator because she has the 3420. She has a defined sacral, red square, right, connected directly to the throat. This is the channel of the manifesting generator, okay? There are a number of you, a whole bunch of you who have the 3420, but there were also others of you that had the, got your motor to your throat in some other way than this particular way. But that is the fastest channel in the chart. It's pure life force energy going directly to the center of expression and manifestation. So this is kind of a classic manifesting generator. Also, she's got two other motors defined, right? You know what I'm going to do just to try to keep myself a little bit on track here. So I'm going to set a timer. Otherwise, I could end up talking for too long. Okay, let me just do this. Whew. All right. Yeah, so she's got three motors, and she's also got another motor to the throat here, right? So she's got her emotional solar plexus connected directly to her throat. So she's got a lot of power. This woman has a lot of power. So Charmaine, my guess is that when you walk into the room, people notice, people feel you, because she's generating all this power with all of these motors. Plus she's got this beautifully powered G center coming from the root up into the sacral, right up into the heart. Okay, so her heart is also really getting a lot of energy from there. And actually the emotional solar plexus is connected this way as well. So she's got a lot of power coming into her heart. She's got this beautiful line from the knowing circuit coming right up through the middle here, which is also the central channel. So for those of you who may have done, meditations where you're working with your central channel, you do this a lot when people do chakra meditations, either with energy coming down through the top of the head or coming up from the root and up through the central channel. So you can see she's got all of these centers right through that central channel, and they're all connected to each other. So she's got a lot of power coming up through that central channel. So one thing I want to point out to all of you is that down here in Pluto, you'll see that Pluto is lighting up the gate 18, both when she was born and 88 days prior. And also Neptune was in the 9th, and it's also it's in the 9 here as well. So Uranus was in the 50, 88 days prior, and was still in the 50 when she was born. So anytime you have multiple activations like that, you have a planet is either both in the design and in the personality, the conscious and the unconscious, or if you've got multiple planets in the same gate, that means that gate is going to be an important theme for her. So, so Charmaine, you really want to look at the 18, the 9, and the 50 for you in terms of gates, because they are multiply activated in your chart. You've also got the 50 here. Every time there's that's one of those, right? Okay. So was there any other one that was like this in this chart? I think that might have been what she had. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see here that you can see that double line, right? The red line and the black line. That means that it's double activated. So along with her, of course, her incarnation cross, this beautiful storytelling gate that she has, a super sensitive earth gate, right? And so your sensitivity is very, very important for you, and you need to take care of it. And don't let anybody tell you there's anything wrong with it. And then you've got it over here in the knowing circuit. So she's got this 2 and this 1, right, that we talked about before, that are really coming into her heart, right? They're activations on her G center. And okay, that's my time. And so those are really important for her because they are part of this central channel and her knowing circuit. Charmaine, I bet you are really, the gate 20 is twice also. Okay, twice in red. Good eye. Virginie, good eye. That's also something you want to look for, is when something shows up. Yep, she's got it in her Mercury. And she's also got it in the South Node here. So that's going to be another major theme for her, is that gate 20. Is this making sense? Can I see a little thumbs up? Is this landing for all of you? Okay, I can only see a few of you, but that's good enough. All right. So just to close this up, I would say this is a woman with a tremendous amount of power. People are going to feel her when she comes into the room. She's extraordinarily, she has a lot of individual circuitry, primarily individual circuitry between what's happening here in the knowing circuit and this 3955, that she's got this blessing for abundance. But there's this sensitivity in here in a very important part. So I would say, you know what, Leanne, I'm going to go kind of fast through these. So you may not get all of it. It's okay. Let it wash over you and sink in. And it's very, very intuitive. Okay. So I'm going to move on. Charmaine, tell me if that landed for you. All right. We're going to move on to Julia or Julia. And Julia, are you here? Julia Aquino, let me know if you're here. So this is a generator, right? She raised her hand. Hi, yay. So she's a generator. Okay, right. She's got this red square and she's got this complex wiring going on over here, right? So this is all individual circuitry over here. And she's got this beautiful heart. Look at all the different activations on this heart, right? She's got 2 in the 46, 2 in the 10, and 1 in the 7. So she's got this beautiful heart. But also the reason that I picked this is look at all the activations to her throat. Okay, she's got 2 here in the 48, 1 in the 57, 2 in the 34, 2 in the 10. That's 2, not the 48, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hanging gates or electromagnetics to the throat. I have 9. I thought I had a lot. So Julia, this is extraordinary. So my guess is that it may have been hard for you when you were younger to have this kind of a thing, because with that open throat and there's all this energy coming in, you might be blurting at certain times when it wasn't appropriate. Maybe you said things and nobody listened to you, like you're not even there. Other times you say things and you're annoying, they get really annoyed at you. They're like, what are you saying? Because what happens is you come around somebody who then defines your throat, and all of a sudden you've got this energy going into your throat. And when you're not around anybody, you're not used to having all that energy, right? And so then it's almost like this wave that comes in, that comes through your throat. Now, the huge superpower of this is that when you learn about how to manage all that energy, you are an extraordinary speaker, teacher, somebody who has an incredible ability to tune into what's happening with people in the room and then be able to express what's needed. Does this land for you? Does this sound, you can unmute yourself since we're on Zoom, why not? Is that landing for you?
Totally. But yeah, it got me in deep trouble when I was young.
Yes. But do you feel like you're getting on top of it now?
Yeah, totally. Since I learned about my design and start kind of listening more deeply to my sacral,
Good.
And knowing that this is not me, two things happen. One, I learned to not take it so personally when somebody like get annoyed or something.
Yes.
And second, also learn to wait to be asked, to be invited.
Exactly. Wait until the right time. So your sacral will tell you, is it the right time? Is it the right person? Right. And you can suss that out also, because you're going to be quite sensitive. You've got 6 open centers. So you're going to be sensitive to what's happening around you. But the thing is that, Julia, I really, I think for you to have opportunities for speaking or teaching when there's a group of people will be an extraordinary, like what will come out of your mouth. You should be recording it, because chances are you aren't going to know what it is, right? It comes in and you don't even know what it is, but it's brilliant, right? It's brilliant. And so you want to record, like for me, okay, and this is our town, what I do now, like when I go and I'm always recording my teaching. And when I am like doing a public speaking thing or something, I just have my voice memo and I always record it, because I can go back and there are things that I don't even remember I said. I don't remember I said them. People were like, wow, that was so great when you said the blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, yeah. I said that, oh good, like I kind of remember, but it's a little bit like a dream, because it's coming in through another circuit. It's not coming in through your left brain. It's not coming in because you planned it and all of that. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. Yay. All right. Moving on, we have Jill. Jill, are you with us? Say hello if you're here.
I'm here.
Yay. Hi, Jill. Where are you? Can I see you?
No, it's too dark.
It's too dark. Okay. Well, hi, Jill. I'm glad you're here. All right. So let's take a look at Jill's chart. Oh, she's born the same year I am. We are year sisters. And so we have another generator. And this generator has a split. So one of the things but look at all of these activations around this beautiful heart here, right? And her heart is being fueled by the sacral, right? We've got this beautiful channel of the 4629. And so, but she's got all of this love energy up here for her. So she's, got a double activation on the 10, which is Saturn. So Jill, how is your self-love?
It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That is your major life lesson in some respects in human design, because you've got it double defined with Saturn in the 10. So here's the thing about the 10. The 10 is extraordinarily beautiful energy, except that we've all been conditioned into judgment rather into love, especially when it comes to ourselves. Back before I even came to human design, when I was doing a lot of work supporting people with Clarity Breathwork and personal development and so on, I used to say self-love is the final frontier. We've kind of learned often how to forgive and love other people, but when it comes to ourselves, hard. I would recommend a great book called Madly in Love with Me by Christina Rilo. She's a good friend of mine, and it's a wonderful book. And it really helps us understand about self-love. Now, the thing is that the 10 is also known as the blame gate. And so that is blaming other people, being blamed, attracting blame. And so anytime you notice that you want to blame other people or you're attracting blame from the outside, self-love is the answer, okay? Because you want to be able to switch the way that definition is so that you are programming it with love rather than with blame. Is this landing for you, Jill?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And it's Saturn. And the thing is Saturn, it is the great teacher, and Saturn likes us to do things very consistently and incrementally. So it's not like you have to have this huge change all at once. It's more about being able to be like kind of like every day having some kind of a self-love practice, or often, doesn't have to be every single day, but often, regularly, some kind of, like for me, my morning meditation practice with my Kundalini yoga, that's my self-love practice, right? Every morning I do it. So just you know, kind of look for what that might be for you, because if you don't have that in place, Saturn is just going to kind of kick your ass until you get it, you know, honestly. And you've already had your second Saturn return, probably, right? And so this may have come back around for you pretty strongly recently. So I would say that's the thing that really kind of jumps out at me. Okay, go away. Looking at your chart, you'll also see again, you know, Pluto's in the 59 and you also have the 28. So I'm going to say something else about this, but you'll notice she's got these double activations over here, also in the 18 and the 28, and then the 59. And then here's the 10 also appear on the 17. So these are going to be major themes for you. But let's just say something about the 28. I did a whole transit report on the 28, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. It was about the leading edge of consciousness. And the thing about the 28, and it can be hard when it's in Neptune because it's a little watery and a little in the mystery. And when you I have the 28 in Neptune, or Neptune in the 28. And when you have that, it can actually foster addictions. And I have fought with addiction for a lot of my life. And so just know that piece. And if your self-love is challenging, then addiction is way more attractive because it's how we manage our lack of self-love. But the 28, when you grab a hold of that energy and you make a decision to love your individual circuitry and love the part of you that is different and that wants to bring change and that's really evolutionary, that 28 can really be an ally for you. But if you don't do that, then that 28 can feel like so much struggle. It's hard. Jill, is this landing?
Yeah, I've been stepping aside the addiction thing though, except I do have a bit of an addiction to crystals.
Well, we can have an addiction to all kinds of things, right? And some addictions, like I'm addicted to collard greens. I think that's a good addiction to have. Yeah. And I'm kind of addicted to my Kundalini yoga now. It's a good addiction to have. So that was my response to this was to develop positive habits. Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. Rejoice. Rejoice. Are you here? Are you with us? Okay. Let me just get here. I don't know if she's with us. Good. That helps you too. Ideally, this is going to help. It's going to help all of you, right? In some way. All right. So here we have another manifesting generator with the 3420. Now, the reason I wanted to bring her up, you'll also see down here, all of the big planets, same situation, right? And so these are going to be kind of big themes for her because they're showing up multiple times. You can see it here, here, and what's the other one? The 50 and the 9. Are all double defined, and the 56. Where's the 56? The 56. Saturn. Okay, Saturn and what? Saturn and Moon. So the 56 is going to be an important energy for you also. This is actually a really beautiful. It's another storytelling gate. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is this person is going to have on the one hand, there's all this energy coming up from the root into the sacral, right? And then there's energy going directly into the throat, right? So that's the kind of the feeling she's going to get the strongest in some ways, just because the sacral is so strong. But she's also got the defined will over here going up through the money line into her throat. So she's got both individual, let's see, individual circuitry on this side and tribal circuitry on this side. Then she's got collective circuitry coming down through the ajna into the throat over on the left side, which is the 1156. Okay, is this making sense? So this is collective circuitry and it's going into the throat. This is individual circuitry going into the throat. And this is tribal circuitry. So what might happen for someone like this is that, I mean, most people are relatively evenly distributed among the different types of circuits. Not that many people are mutants like me that are almost all individual circuitry. But what might happen when you have this is that she could feel, in particular between the individual circuitry and the tribal, is that on the one hand, there's this impulse that's coming from the 3420 and her individual circuitry to be different, to bring change, to be really being on the leading edge of consciousness, and so on. Okay, this is part of the integration circuit. And then, but on the other hand, with the tribal circuitry, it's about being part of the tribe. It's part about fitting in. Now, the thing here is because she's got the 45, this is the leadership gate, right? It's known as the king or queen gate or the sovereign gate in traditional human design, or as natural leadership and quantum human design. So she does have a leadership quality in that tribal circuit that could work maybe more in alignment with the individual circuitry. But sometimes when you've got this tribal and individual thing going on the one hand, you want to fit in. On the one hand, you're willing to put other people before you. You're willing to do what's good for the tribe, what's good for everybody. And then there's another part of you that's like, I want to do my own thing. I don't really care what other people think. I'm just going to go off and, create what I want to create. And this can create what Karen, my teacher likes to call it a conundrum, right? Because there's these two different energies that are going on. So what I would say is that you really want to be, when you see these two type of circuitry going like this, you want to be able to invite them to dance with each other rather than, and that's my time, so I gotta finish up on this one, but you want to find a way to have those two energies dance with each other. And they can, because the best tribes also acknowledge and support the individuality of the people who are part of the tribe. And people, even with a lot of individual circuitry, it's not like we don't care about other people. We do care about other people, right? So we want to care about other people, but we want to be able to kind of honor both and find ways that they can work together rather than feeling like they're coming at loggerheads. Okay, is that making sense to all of you? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to move on. I don't think she was here. This one actually doesn't have a name. So if this is your chart, you can claim it. You can tell us who you are. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. All right. So anybody want to tell me what, the type is already up there. I was going to say, who wants to tell me what type this is? So we got a, oh, that's you, Julie. Okay. Yes. Manifester. Okay. We got our first manifester. And I think we've got a couple of different manifestors. So Julie here is a what we call an emotional manifester, because the engine going to the throat is the emotional solar plexus. Now, one of the things that's interesting here is that she's got this, this line, which is in the knowing circuit, right? Which is connecting the emotional solar plexus to the throat, and it's powering that. Then we also have this tribal circuitry that's coming through the 4037. Now, this is part of her incarnation cross, okay? So whenever there's, a channel that's part of the incarnation cross, it kind of accentuates the significance of the channel. She's just got 2 channels already, so her channels are both going to be really important. Usually, typically people will say, well, the one that connects the motor to the throat is the more important channel. But the fact that this one is in her incarnation cross, for me, would elevate the significance of that channel for her. And again, we've got individual circuitry, right, which is in this knowing circuit here, and we've got tribal circuitry. So similar to what I was saying with our last person, is that there could potentially be kind of like a conversation between these two parts, and they could sometimes not get along so well with each other. Is that something that you relate to, Julie? Oh, and I know the other reason I wanted to bring up your chart. Does that land for you at all? This thing about the different types of circuitry that you have? Yes. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say, and Julie, I'm sure you're very aware of this, but just for everybody to say, is take a look at all of these tens. She's got four. Okay. She's got Saturn's in the 10 twice, and Uranus is in the 10 twice. Okay. So anytime you see that many activations, self-love is going to be just a huge, plus it's Saturn's in it. So Julie, how is your self-love? Are you practicing self-love on a regular basis? It's okay. Yeah. Is it a struggle for you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of times people don't understand manifestors very well, because you've got this really powerful, influential energy from that motor to the throat. And you actually have two motors to the throat, because you've also got the will center is fueling the emotional solar plexus, and then the emotional solar plexus is coming up to the throat, right? So there's a lot going on over here on the left-hand side of your body. And so that people are going to feel that. And so my suggestion for you and my recommendation for you is really put a lot of energy into your self-love and your self-acceptance. And well, so here's the thing. I want to make sure that you're what I imagine you're saying that the being a manifestor is lonely. Yeah, I mean, you're only 8% of the population, but manifestors also have superpowers. So, don't forget that. But here's the thing, this 40, so in traditional human design, the 40 is called loneliness. Now, my best friend, one of my very best friends, has the 40 as her main gate. She's like, I'm not lonely. And what Karen in quantum human design has renamed it restoration, which I actually think is a good reframing. And for you as a manifestor, this is also important for you, because you need to have time away from people in order to restore. I mean, you've got 6 open centers. So you need to have time on your own to let other people's energy drain out. And so you can restore. Also, because, that will center is to work to rest. So I would say, if you're feeling lonely, okay, I'm just going to tune in for a second, is just to say this is my recommendation, and what Caroline Casey says is believe nothing, entertain possibilities, take this if it's useful and discard it if it's not. But I would say you might start a little project of becoming your own best friend. And to practice treating yourself like someone you really, really, truly love. Yeah. I think that might change a lot for you. Yeah. Okay, Julie, you can comment if you want. I'm going to move on, but you're welcome to comment. Okay, Vita, who let me know I think she's in Germany. So good, Julie, good. Yeah. Okay. I think she's in Germany. So or she's somewhere where it's 2 a.m. So she's not here, but I will make sure that I'll post the recording of this up on YouTube so people can see it. All right. So I know why I picked this one. So she's another generator, okay, but you can see she's got this big split, right? She's got this defined head and ajna, or defined ajna and throat, and then she's got these 3 centers connected to each other down here. Now, a lot of times when I see this kind of configuration in people, what I see is that they can have a lot of thoughts, because she also has the gate of ideas up here. Plus she's got the 4323. So she's downloading from super consciousness. This is also in her incarnation cross, the 4323. So she's going to be downloading from super consciousness. Plus she's also bringing in through her sensing circuit, right, through her right brain, through the gate of ideas. So she's got a lot of ideas, and it's double defined with Neptune. So she could kind of get trapped up here, particularly because our our culture, Western culture, let me just say, Western culture really privileges the mind, right? It really privileges the mind. And so it teaches us to be kind of disembodied and to be a talking head, right? And not even to be paying that much attention to our bodies. I did a reading for a woman the other day who had a somewhat similar, just in terms of the split. And she said, yeah, I'm in my head. It's hard for me to get out of my head. So one of the things I think that would really benefit you, Vita, is to be doing practices that help you to connect with your lower body. You may already do this. I don't know. You're not here, so I can't talk to you. But the equinox gift that I did has a Kundalini yoga practice where you're doing breath of fire and you're working the navel point. So you're working right here in your body with that breath of fire, and so it can help you to get your awareness down into your pelvis, because you've really got all this energy down here in your pelvis. I really see the spleen as kind of being, if you can see my cursor, it's really kind of back here. It's not way out here. It's not way outside your body. It's inside your body, and it's a little bit more like here. And since it's supposed to be part of the solar plexus, see what I really see the centers as being related to the chakras, but different. And so the emotional solar plexus and the spleen, which are supposed to be like the solar plexus chakra, the sacral is really more like the solar plexus chakra. And so there's a complex of energy that happens in this part of the body, just right here, right? And this is the power center. And so doing things that help you get in the power center, and of course, all martial arts, Tai Chi, Aikido, any of that will help you get into that part of your body, but so will the yoga practices. And you can check out what I've got on YouTube for that. And I think that'll help you get out of that thinking tower. And it can also help ground you in this beautiful knowing circuit that you have going on down here. That comes up through into self-expression. And I think that might help you to access the power that you have down here. Now, that's just a guess. I don't really know, but I would think with that 4323 and that 11, she could get kind of stuck up here. Okay. All right. Moving on. All right, Shannon. I don't know if Shannon's with us. We might have a little bit of a challenge with some of these, just because I'm going into some of the tall ones now. All right. So here we have another manifestor. But it's kind of an interesting configuration because her motor has to go over into the spleen and then up through the 1648. So this does make her a manifestor, but it also means that her power is a little bit muted, if that makes sense, because it has to go all the way through another center before it comes up. And she has no other motors to find. So I don't know, Shannon, if you're here, but Shannon, I would say to you that you really want to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself and you're not working too much, because this could be tricky for you because of this particular configuration. Even though you do have this motor to find, it's the work to rest motor, and you don't have any other motors to find. She does have this really beautiful, she actually has the same incarnation cross as I do. And again, you can see the same thing is happening down here for her, like all four of these outer planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all lighting up the same gates. So you can see that. So this is something you start to just notice in charts over and over again. It's really pretty common. And so these are kind of important gates for her. And she's going to have this from the logic circuit over here. This is one of her main channels. She's got logic, which is collective. And then she's got the 4426, which is more tribal, but you just think about this for a second. Yeah. Yeah, but then she's got Mercury lighting up the 61, and what's in the 63? So that's also logic. So she's got just a little bit of the knowing circuit here with the 61 and the 57. So the thing I would say to you, Shannon, is make sure to honor your intuition, because you do have intuition, but you have stronger logic. And it's not uncommon for people who have stronger logic to discard their intuition. But you've got this beautiful 61 here and this beautiful 57, and those are both highly intuitive gates. So I would encourage you to make sure that you are honoring your intuition. I don't think she's here. She hasn't commented, so I'm going to move on. All right, Stephanie. We've got a projector, right? Projector, yeah. No motor to the throat, right? No sacral. If you don't have a sacral defined and you don't have a motor to the throat, you're either a projector or you're a reflector. So with this projector, she's just got this one channel. Okay, she does have a motor, so that's good. That gives her some energy. Stephanie, are you here? And so this is her main channel. One of the things that's beautiful about this channel, and you'll see the 18 is also where her conscious sun is. So this 18 is going to be super important for her. And the 58, oh, Saturn's lighting up the 58. Okay, so that means that the 58 is joy. Okay. And the 18 is correction. And so the thing about the 18 is it can be a really, really wonderful energy, but it can have an edge. It can have a kind of harsh edge. Again, another one of my really good friends has the 18, and it really is, she's super good at accounting. She can notice a typo in anything. She used to send me back my emails and say, Maggie, you have a typo in your email. I'm like, I know, honey, I don't have the 18. I don't care so much. But if you don't well manage this energy, it can be harsh. Okay. And other people will take it as criticism. And you can also attract criticism from other people. So Stephanie, I would say to you to really learn to hold that 18 lightly, and to practice the joy. Because what the joy of the 18 is like, okay, so my friend who's got the 18, she called me up one day, we were talking, and she was like, I'm so happy right now. I just finished my budgets for the month. She just balanced her spreadsheet. I was like, wow, you really get off on that. She goes, I do. I just love it when it all lines up and I know exactly where everything is. And I know exactly how everything's working, how much money we have for everything, and da-da-da. And she had joy. She had joy from that, right? So for people who have the 18, remember the joy. Remember the joy and foster the joy, because if you don't, it's likely you're going to be harsh and other people are not going to love that about you. Okay. Again, we've got the 10 double defined here. We've really got a theme going on. The other thing I want to point out is she's just got this 38, 39 going on down here, which is in her incarnation cross. Now the 38, 39, also super, super powerful energy. The 39 is provocation. Now, can you imagine somebody who's got the 18 and the 39? You got to be careful when you got those two energies together. This 38 here is this energy to know what's worth fighting for. Karen's now calling it the visionary leader, which I love. And so I would just say for this person to be balancing out this energy of this 18, and to be with the sense of what is your visionary leadership? Where can you see the patterns, which is what the 18 can do, that can help you with manifesting your visionary leadership? And to be careful while you're doing that, that you're not giving too many opinions, because the 17 is opinions. And you're also making sure that you are finding the joy. All right. How are we doing, everybody, with you watching this? Is this landing for you? Let me just see, let me just stop for a second. And okay. Gonna put us on gallery. Okay. Oh, most of you our videos are off. How's this going, everybody? I know I'm going through this really fast. And if you're new to human design, you might be going, what? But it's kind of meant to be fun. It's kind of meant, well, it is meant to be fun. No, it's unequivocally meant to be fun. And it's meant to be helping to show you some possibilities of where you can look for things in your chart. Okay, is this landing? Okay, this is amazing learning lots. It's awesome getting a lot from it. Okay, great going. Also have lots of 10s. Yeah, I love this. Okay, good. Just briefly, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but are there any learning lots of jewels from everyone's charts? Okay, great. So any brief questions, not so much about your chart or anything, but about anything that I said. I'm not going to go back through the charts, but I don't know if that actually made sense. Sorry if it didn't. Okay, we'll just go back through. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about just the nodes per se. I mean, the nodes, you can go look up the nodes online if you want to find out more about the nodes. The nodes are kind of spiritual about what you were coming in with, and then what you were developing later on in your life. Okay, so it wasn't part of a main part of what I was using to select in the charts. Okay. All right, so let me start again. So here we have, who do we have? We have Vinaya. I don't know if she's here. Vinaya, say hello if you are here. And okay, so this is a projector, right? No sacral defined and no motor to the throat. She does have a defined throat, and look at all of the gates that are activated on her G center, right? This is a very, very heartfelt person, okay? Beautiful heart energy. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got 6 out of the 8 gates defined. And so she just had this person has a lot of love. Yeah, she's a vessel of love is her incarnation cross. And so it's vital for someone like this to foster her own sense of love, both her love of, so she's got, self-love, she's got love of humanity, she's got love of the body, she's got love of spirit, she's got love of collaboration, she's got love of expression. So she's got all these different kinds of loves, but it's really like, it's kind of like the big love, right? The God love, the divine love. And she's, this is a person who would really do well with speaking in her life, and speaking and telling stories. So she's got this main channel here. This is all a storytelling channel. Okay. And it's storytelling for taking your personal stories or the stories of other people, and then digesting them and retelling them for the good of all. Okay. And then she has to watch out here, because this channel is kind of colloquially known in human design as the Gunslinger Channel, which is, I think, what happens if we're identifying more with the blame of the 10, then this negative energy, which can be controlling and shadow energy coming out of that negative 10, if you're more aligned with the blame and it's coming out your mouth, it can be really sharp and really intense. And so she's got 2 options, right? She's got this beautiful storytelling option, and she's got this, ooh, ouch, potentially ouchy option over here. But she definitely has a different activations going up into her throat. And so I would say this is, it would be great for her to be able to speak from the heart and telling stories for the betterment of herself and of humanity. You'll also see she's got these double activations going on down here, right? Every time you see those red and black, you know, it's going to show up multiple times in her chart elsewhere. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to say about that one. She's a no motor projector. Okay, no motors are defined in her chart. So that means that she definitely needs to make sure she's getting enough rest. She's probably highly sensitive. She's only got 2 centers defined. So she's going to be sensitive a lot to how other people are feeling, how they're behaving, how they're acting. She needs to watch out for these fear gates over here on the spleen. Okay, that's my time. Rosalinda Mias. Okay. This one is interesting. Just if you take a look at it, you'll see, now here's somebody who has virtually the whole central channel is defined, right? Going all the way from the root to the sacral, to the heart, to the throat, to the ajna, and back down again, right? So she's got this whole central channel going on here. And lots of double activations, right? Lots of them. So again, these are the kind of places you want to look at in your own chart to see, okay, what are these major themes that are coming up? She's also got, so she's got the 10, where's the 10? The 10 is in, Uranus is in the 10. Again, we've got the same theme going on. All of the outer planets are double defining different gates. And what was I going to say? Oh, the 30. So the 30, where's the 30? Okay. So the 30, every time we see the 30 in somebody's chart, is we say that the intensity of the chart goes up by 10. Because in the I Ching, the 30 is known as clinging fire. In quantum human design, it's known as passion. But it's a super, super, super powerful energy, and it's emotional. So when you are able to grab a hold of the power of your passion, it can be very beneficial. But if it is kind of more in command of you, it can be a problem. So you want to watch out for that. She also has the 51, and the moon's lighting it up. So it's part of what's driving her. The 51 is known as the gate of shock in traditional human design, or the gate of initiation. It's part of the channel of the priest or priestess and the channel of initiation. So it's plus she's got this 2838 going on over here. Again, we've got the visionary leader showing up. So she's got a lot of energy to be influencing other people, because you know, whenever somebody's got all of this definition going up and down that central channel, it's strong, right? So, and she's got 6 out of 9 centers are defined. So when she walks into the room, people are going to feel her because her energy is strong in lots of different places. And so for her, she needs to make sure she's really on top of this self-love. She needs to make sure that she's leaning into the visionary leadership aspect of the 38 and not the fighting aspect, and into the initiation of the 51 and not the shock. Or if she uses shock, that she's very judicious in how she uses it. But her superpower is really in this is in this central channel, and in the way that it is allowing her to power up her heart, and how it is enabling her to, see, this is really important, because this is what's getting in from all this power coming in here, is going up through this verbal gunslinger channel. So it's really super important for this 10 to be in a good you know, in its more awakened state, or she could have a lot of kind of nasty stuff coming out of her mouth, especially if she gets upset. And this could happen because she's got an open emotional solar plexus. She could come around somebody else who's upset, pick up that energy and amplify it. And the next thing she knows, something's coming out of her mouth that later on she wishes hadn't come out. Okay. Is that making sense? How these things kind of are acting up. Plus she could have some fear with the fear gates of the spleen over here. I just did the video that just came out on today, I guess. I'm used to it coming out on Sunday, but I think it came out today. I talked about or was it that one? No, it wasn't that one. It was last week. But the fear gates of the spleen. Okay. I think that's my time with this one. All right. Let me see how many more I got to do. Got one, come on. 1, 2. Oh yeah, I'm almost done. All right. All right. Yeah, we just did this one. Okay, now, oh, okay. Yeah, all this complex wiring over here. This part of the chart is, it doesn't show up the same way anywhere else, where you have the knowing circuit, the centering circuit, and the integration circuit are all overlapping each other right here. Now it's all individual circuitry, but each of those circuits has a different quality. And so it can get really complex over here. Now, why did I pick this one? Not remember, but again, you can see all the outer planets, these 4 outer planets, not Jupiter, but the rest of them, they're all, double defined. Now she's got Saturn in the 45, and this is the gate of natural leadership, as we were talking about before. So that's going to be her life lesson. And when she masters that, she's going to feel joy, which is where her Jupiter is. And she's going to feel, it's going to help her with her self-love. Now, where else is the self-love? Her moon. Her conscious moon is also in the 10. So this is going to be what's driving her, is the self-love, and that's good. And because if it's driving her and Jupiter is also there, Jupiter is like, let's expand the self-love, let's have it be a blessing. But if you're not on top of it, Jupiter can expand your blame. So you want to be careful with something like that. But even though she's not emotionally defined, she needs time to make decisions, because this wiring over here is, takes some time to be able to really feel into what is true for her. Because she's got impulses coming out of the spleen, right? She's got this busy gate here, busy, 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 busy. And then she's got the blame gate here, the gate of self-love. So her superpower is really going to be when she gets a hold of this energy and she learns. So this is, can lead to perfection, the 5710, but it can also be incredible support for creating beautiful things, really being able to get a sense of aesthetics. It's the channel of perfected form. But she wants to watch out for that so that her perfection doesn't take over for her. Okay. All right. Amber. Oh, this is super interesting. I don't see these very often. Amber, I don't know if you're with us. I don't have the chat open anymore, I guess. Do I have it? Okay. Okay. I see, oh, there's been some stuff over here. I'm just going to answer this question. So Deborah asks, with the chart that had all the activations to the throat, did you count all the gates below the throat to tally that? It was everything that was coming off the throat, and then all of the electromagnetics. So the electromagnetics are when there's a gate on the throat that's not defined, but its mate on another channel, let's say it's on the emotional solar plexus, is defined. And so that's called an electromagnetic. And so the other half is always looking for its mate. It's always looking for its mate. So there were 16 of them, and some of them were because the planet was there both in the personality and in the design, okay, or the conscious and the unconscious. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk about this chart. Wow, look at that. Every center is defined. I don't see that very often. I have seen it one other time or maybe two other times, but I don't see that very often. Now, this is a person who is going to be extremely influential. Okay. People are just going to feel her when she walks in, even though she's a generator. She's not a manifestor or a manifesting generator. Even so, with that much definition in her chart, her whole body is like telegraphing energy. So it's very important for a person like this to be looking at the different parts of their definition and seeing how is she expressing it. So I talked about this 38, 39 a minute ago, right? That the 38 is the visionary leader, but it can also just be a fighter, somebody who just wants to fight. The 39 can be provocation. That can be great for helping provoke people out of their patterns, but it can also just be poking. So just as an example, and it's in her incarnation cross, plus she's got the 51 over here, which is that gate of shock I was just talking about. And she has the 57, which is intuition, but because it's on the spleen center, it's also potentially the fear of the future. Okay, because that's the fear of the 57 is the fear of the future. And so it can be instinctually driven. So, but this person, when she gets on, and she's got Pluto's in the 57 also. So that's a super important gate for her. Does she have? Yeah, and she's also got the 43 twice. She's got the 26 twice. So she'll be wanting, in the 40 twice. So she'll be wanting to look for those as well. But the main thing I just wanted to show you about this one is for somebody like this, it's possible for them to continue to change and evolve. But Amber, you're going to have to work at it a little bit harder because your definition has been conditioned into a certain way of being. And in order to shift that, you want to look at what the kind of the spectrum of what your definition is, so that you can be looking for the more awakened aspects of your definition, rather than going with the shadow or the disempowered aspects of your definition, because you'll be telegraphing that to other people and also having it be a recycling in your head or in your system. And that's not going to be beneficial for you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we've got the opposite end of the spectrum with Cassandra. We've got a reflector. Look at that. No center is defined. Okay, so this person is highly sensitive, not only because she's a reflector, but because the 19 is her number one gate. Okay, so the 19 is the most sensitive gate in the chart. It's about intimacy. It's about relationships. It's in the tribal circuit. So it's tribal energy, and it's very, very sensitive. It's a beautiful energy that it can be a lot for somebody to handle depending on how they were treated while they were growing up, because, and I think probably for a lot of reflectors, it's hard, because whoever taught any of us parents how to take care of our reflector children didn't happen very much, right? So I don't know, Cassandra, if you're around, but if you're on today, but this person really needs to be taking really good care of herself and to be exploring what's true for her. She's got this beautiful storytelling gate here. That's her Earth is there. And it's also part of her Jupiter. Oh, her Jupiter. So it's triple defined in her chart, this 33. So, and it's in her blessings. And so I think that this is a big ally for her. Right here is this 33, which is where her conscious Earth is. And also, let's just see here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got a fair bit of individual circuitry here. So, because she's got the 24, the 43 double defined, the 20 double defined, the 38 double defined, coming up through the central channel, the 60 and the 1. So, and then on this side, she's got the 55. So not only is she a reflector, and not only does she have the 19, but she has all of this of the knowing circuit. So this is a person who is different. Okay, this person is not like other people at all. And the best thing that a reflector can do is really make sure that they are with the right people who are going to appreciate and acknowledge and honor what it is that she's bringing here. And I would say are really willing to listen to the beautiful stories that she has to tell that may have to do with helping us to connect with our sensitivity and be able to honor sensitivity. I think sensitivity gets a really bad rap in our culture. You know, it's like, you're too sensitive. You know, why are you like that? It's like, you know, do something about that. It's like, no, sensitivity is a beautiful thing. It's part of what I think is coming out more and more as we are growing and evolving and learning to love and appreciate our sensitivity. And also just want to note, where's her 31? Yeah, her moon, she also has this leadership gate here. So she's here to be different. She's here to bring something really different and new in. It's coming in through super consciousness. It's being given some flavor with her heart. She's got this visionary leader here in the 38, and she's got the new world leader in the 31. So with any reflector, the gates become super important because they don't have any channels or any centers that are defined. And so she's looking, she's a 5th line too, which means she's probably been having people project their stuff onto her whole life. All right, well, you're not here, Cassandra. I would love to do more of a reading for you because I would love to find out how things have been going for you in your life. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop that and see what's going on over here. No, yeah, the charts are always the same. It's just based on your birth information. All right, everybody, how was that? Pop a couple of takeaways, like anything that you learned, just so we can have a little mind share here about anything that you learned today, because I would love to know too, just anything that you got out of this. And then, you know what I'm going to do while you're doing that? Yeah, it's really, you know, this is one of the ways you can repay me is to put what you've learned in here. Just think about it for a minute. And I'm just going to go look for something. It's also one of the ways that we learn from each other. Come on. Okay, there it is. Okay, if you want to take advantage of this special, I will, I'm not sure how long I'll make it available. Not that long. There's the URL for the order form for a 30-minute reading for $97, which is a bargain. And, you know, my readings are usually $400 or $500. So, and I would love to dive in with any of you if you would like to do that. And I want to close this part now. I don't want that. How do I close that? No. All right, I'm just gonna have to look here. All right, so tell me what you are learning. Okay. Okay, recording. I'm not sure when they're recording. Probably be up tonight or tomorrow morning. Looking forward to a mini session. All right. Yes, register for a mini session. I learn more about the planets. Make me want to dive deeper into which one does what. Yeah. So good to remember to look at the duplicate dates and those themes and what planets are showing up in them. Yes, it's a really, really important piece. Thank you, Barbara. Deborah says, I learned that the higher and lower expression of gate 10 part of my incarnation cross can attract blame. So it's vital to foster self-love. It is like anytime you realize you are attracting blame, you know, or, and here's the thing, let me just say a little thing about this that I realized about the gate 10. So we get conditioned to blame ourselves for things and make ourselves wrong, right? To beat up on ourselves. I have yet to meet a person who hasn't done to them. So we get taught that, right? And so we're blaming ourselves. And it's so painful that what do? We turn around and start blaming other people. We blame other people because the pain of the self-blame is so hard that we blame other people, right? Or if we're blaming ourselves, then other people are going, oh, well, she's blaming herself. I'm going to blame her too. And this is all subconscious, right? This is not usually something people are trying to do. But the antidote is when you stop blaming yourself and you start loving yourself, right? Then you're not blaming others and you're not attracting the blame from them. Does that make sense? Do you guys get what I'm talking about when I say that? So the gate 10 is so, so, so important because it can change your whole life when you get a handle on that. Okay. Okay. So Helena says the importance of gates that have multiple activations. Yes. Rania says, I also learned that when gates are repeated. Okay, guess we got, all right. You guys are getting that. Yes. All right. And with self-love, really allowing myself to take care of me. Yes, of course, self-love is a big theme. Yes, it does not surprise me that I have the 30. Yeah, I've got my Chirons in the 30 and it's just a huge theme for me in my life. Okay, Charmaine, awesome takeaways. Although I've had my design read before, it was grounding to hear someone else speak into my power and capabilities and how I resonate with my defined centers and express. Thank you, Maggie. Absolutely, you are a powerhouse. I would love to meet you. I love powerhouses. Okay, Rhonda, interesting how certain numbers can appear multiple times. Exactly. Helena, how critical self-love is, especially when part of incarnation cross, or if you're Saturn. So Saturn is in my gate 10. So it's part of my life lesson. Is self-love. Donna, lots, multiple gate influences. Okay, when will the recording be up? I think I just said that. Learn, okay. Yeah, gate 10, gate 30, any resource book recommendations. I always recommend Karen Curry Parker's Understanding Human Design as your first reference book. Her compendium, I forget what they're calling it. What are they calling it? The Codex? No, they're not calling it the Encyclopedia, something like that. For quantum human design as a reference. So Understanding Human Design is a reference book. You're not going to sit down and read it cover to cover unless you're totally a nerd like me. But you know, you're going to look up what's relevant for you in that. You can also look for the quantum alignment cards and learn more about the gates that way. But Christy Sullivan spearheaded a book. Where is my book? And I am one of the authors in this. It's called Stop Overworking and Start Overflowing. And I would highly encourage you to get it, especially if you're new, but even if you're not, because it has 25 stories of how different people have used human design in their life. And so it's really a nice way to see kind of what human design can do for you, because especially if you were like listening to me today and it was like going, choo, choo, choo. You're like, it sounds cool, but I don't know. But so if you read this, you will, you'll get what human design can do for you. And it's just wonderful stories. And yes, you can order from me if you want a signed copy, or you can get it on Amazon, either one. All right. So stop overworking, start overflowing. And this is also what we all need to do, is to stop overworking and start overflowing. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Let me just put this URL in here again. If you want to book a reading with me, basically just buy the reading and I will contact you about setting up a time. The last thing I want to say is check out my Activate Your Light Worker leadership codes next week. It's a free mini course, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It will be recorded. If I can figure out, somebody's asking me for the code. I don't know what you mean. What's the code for my reading? Can you say more what you mean? I just put the URL in there. So is there something else that you need? I'm not sure. I hope not. I didn't check no, I did check the page. It should work. Bought the reading. Okay. So you can do it. Somebody did it. So it works. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the Light Worker leadership codes. Come and check that out. It's a free training. Thursday, I'm going to do live at 10 a.m. and at 5 p.m. So our friends in Europe will have a session that we can do live. Also, if you have problems, whatever, for this, somebody bought it, so it's working. If you have an issue, email me, okay? And I will make sure that we get you set up, okay? Because I didn't have time with spending half of my day trying to get the live stream onto YouTube to work, to double check that URL. Oh, blessings on our technology. It allows us to connect all over the world, and it can be a total pain in the ass, as I'm sure you know. So, all right, come join me next week, because I would get to interact with you more, especially if you come on Thursday. And then on Saturday, I have a bonus session. It's 3 hours. You do have to pay for it. It's $47. So it's like, less than dinner. And how do you sign up? All right, let me put that in the chat here. It's womenevolvingourworld.com/light worker activation. So it's in the chat. Did I do it right? womenevolvingourworld.com light worker activation. Yep. You should also have gotten announcements in your email from me about it, because like the email I sent out today had it in it, and last week. So come join us. It's also in the description for the last couple of videos. All right, so one last request, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my channel. It actually, on YouTube, it really does help. I just hit 600 subscribers this week. When I hit 1,000, YouTube gives me extra pats on the back and starts to show my videos even more and helps me grow. So I really appreciate it if you do that, okay? And leave comments when you watch my videos. Just leave a comment. That also helps. It makes YouTube go, oh, people are paying attention to what she's doing. So, help me just kind of, juice up that algorithm a little bit so that this information can get out to more people. Okay. Always love to hear from you. Feel free to send me an email. Let me know how things are going. If you want to do a reading, great. Come next week to Lightworkers. I have some other goodies in store for you soon. And of course, just watch my videos every week. They'll now be on Thursdays and Mondays instead of Sundays and Mondays. Okay. Many blessings. Love you. Thanks for hanging in there, and hope to see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.